Personally, I really like this podcast, not gonna lie. I am all about gaming, and the hardest part for me about this is that I'm not always able to do it, and for personal reasons, I'm going to be out of commission for a little while. But that won't stop me from keeping myself on Direct, keeping all my gaming subscriptions on YouTube, and of course, listening to the Remember the Game podcasts, which are one of my personal fave perks about this. Anyway or either way, I just love video games, and I can't wait to bring this podcast even further than how it's already been. Thank you so much for listening. It warms my heart. Welcome everybody, I'm Mr.L Minecraft. Today's episode is I have absolutely no idea what we're going to do. Silly me, right? I was thinking of doing one on the Super Smash Bros. Series, but there's only like 6 games, and I don't think it's kind of necessary. Although we could ramble on about what Super Smash Bros. Needs in the What's Up and What's Next intro. So, yeah, let's kind of do that while I figure out what I should do for my subject. And, but I'm sure you've probably seen the title, and that was before I figured out what the main subject will be. So anyway, let's dive right into my episode, and we'll jump right into my What's Up and What's Next intro. Yay! If this is your first podcast episode, thank you for joining us. This is What's Up and What's Next, and our intros are fun. They're usually fun. I do Aces and Jokers, where I take 6 cards and I shuffle them. I pick 2, and then I go through a special routine. Luckily, I haven't gotten double jokers, so I don't have to do anything stupid. Besides, I kinda sorta don't have anything stupid to do. But all's well. I'm good. We're good. So I'm going to Now, I'm gonna have to take a quick look to. Well, yeah, Aces and Jokers is pretty good. Sometimes I do announcements, sometimes of. Some, and yeah, let me try that again. Introduction to the intro. Okay, so What's Up and What's Next is about 3 things in its intro. We do the thing that has absolutely nothing to do with the subject, probably, maybe, because I don't know what the main subject will be. We do Aces and Jokers. It's real fun. It's fun. And I also do a fun little thing. Sometimes I do shout outs, sometimes I do announcements whatsoever. Anyway, let's dive right in. For starters, we're going to be talking about the thing that has mostly nothing to do with the main subject, since I don't know what the main subject actually is. I'm just going to do Super Smash Bros. And why I don't think it's done yet. Okay, so we all see that Sora is the last character. Well, I don't think so. No way. We need we. I have been saying this for so flippin' long. We flippin' need to flippin' see flippin' Bandana Waddle Dee. That's what we need in Super Smash Brothers. He has been the 4th member of that quadruple ride. I'm not going to be satisfied with Super Smash Brothers anytime until I see Super Smash Brothers Ultimate having Bandana Waldy or any other future game that's still Super Smash Brothers with Bandana Waddle Dee. I mean, look at me right now. I'm freaking out. And, and as if Bandana Wildly isn't enough, I have just got to say that that Kirby's Dream Friends would make a beautiful addition to the to the Super Smash Brothers roster. I mean, look at Mario's roster. It's like it's like over 10 characters. There's Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, uh Bowser Jr. slash the Kooplings. Uh who else? There's Rosalina and Luma. One character, two. Two characters in one, I mean. Uh there's Piranha Plant. There's a lot of Mario characters. And plus and minus Donkey Kong and Yoshi. And also plus and minus for Wario as well. Hold on, I just need to blow my nose real quick. Okay, sorry. I just need to pull up my nose. Now, where was I? Oh, yeah. Plus and minus Donkey Kong and Yoshi and Diddy Kong and Wario. There's a lot of Mario franchise. There's a lot of Mario franchise roster. Think about it. So I just want to add a lot of Kirby roster too, because Kirby is like one of the second biggest franchises next to Mario or something. But I haven't actually looked. But I haven't actually looked it up. But personally, I think if we need any more Kirby characters to join, it has to 100% be Bandit and Wildy and the Dream Friends. I mean, here's an interesting thing that they could add to Super Smash Brothers. I mean, it doesn't all need to be characters. I mean, you've seen All-Star Smash, right? You've seen the All-Star Smash and Endless Smash and Century Smash and Curl Smash as well. Well, my idea is Boss Smash. Hold on. My idea is Boss Smash. So there's this area in the adventure mode where you need to play as Master Hand to fight a bunch of characters. I'm thinking you could play as other bosses to fight characters. Also, we need more bosses like Chaos from Skylanders, which reminds me, we also need Skylanders as well. I'm thinking the original 5. Spyro, Stealth Elf, Raptor, Jetpack, Pop Fizz. Boom. In fact, Skylanders Academy is actually a Netflix original series. I've watched the whole thing like 3 times, maybe more. It's pretty good. You should watch it. So we do need Skylanders and maybe Chaos. And maybe Chaos not only as a playable character, but as a boss rush character as well. Yeah. So we could also it's hard to add other characters to series to Super Smash Brothers. So you know how hold on. Okay, let me try that again. You know how you're looking at these characters, and it's just one character representing their own franchise. Well, what bothers me there is how much that what bothers me there is how much is that there's just the one character. Well, it's hard to come up with characters to go along with that one character sometimes, like Little Mac and Wii Fit Trainer, Olimar. It's hard. It's difficult. So, I mean, I guess you could just add Alf as like a mirror version to Olimar instead, but that would make a bigger difference. There's also some good ones to add, like ooh, you could add more Wii Fighter options, more Mii Fighter options, like maybe when you choose Sword Fighter, you could choose to have one sword or two swords. That would be cool, right? And for Brawler, I guess you could like add to. I guess for Brawler, I don't know what you could add for Brawler. Huh. It's hard to choose what to add for Brawler. And you know what else I think we should add? I think that we should also add this. That we also need I think that we also need to be able to choose our final smash because some final smashes were good, some were bad. Some were bad, some were good. And I think we should be able to choose our final smashes. Like, oh yeah, and here's an interesting thought. Maybe we should make Ivysaur and Squirtle separate characters from Pokemon Trainer and Charizard. That makes sense, right? That way, I mean, we've seen Charizard's final smash. He just mega evolves. Ivysaur's could be like a full blown solar beam, and Squirtle's could be. What is the most powerful water type move? I think it's like a Z move. Yeah, I believe that there's a water type Z move. Let me take a quick look. Water type Z move. Hydro Vortex is the water type Z move. Yeah, it could be like a Z move. Yeah, Squirtle's Vital Smash could be a Z move. That makes a lot of sense if you know what I'm thinking. Hydro Vortex would be the perfect thing as a would be the perfect it would be perfect as a singular Vital Smash for Squirtle. Right? What else do we have? I guess that we could also add. I, I, this has been bugging me for a while, but I really want to rename Pokemon Trainer as Ash. As Ash Ketchum, because you know his whole franchise. You know he has Pikachu and all that stuff. So why not just rename him Ash Ketchum? It's that simple. I mean, he looks like Ash almost enough. He looks like Ash almost enough. You could change him. You could change it to a female, I guess. But you know what I mean. Change the character to Ash. I don't want his story to end just yet. A story only properly ends not on a cliffhanger. No, not yet. I'm happy if we see Ash Ketchum in a Pokemon Horizons second series. Not. Let me try that again. In the season after Pokemon Horizons, I would like to see Ash. Maybe he'd pop in. Or not, but I'm not done with Ash. Not unless he's achieved his dream. Not unless he achieves his dream. Not on my watch. Which reminds me, we also need Pokemon. We are gonna need some Pokemon characters. Like, what are some good Paldea Pokemon that we could add? I mean, this isn't a Paldea Pokemon, but we have Pichu and Pikachu. Why not Raichu? Makes sense, right? Pichu, Pikachu, Raichu. It's kind of a win-win there. You have the full evolution chain. And what else do we need? I guess we could also add a Pokemon. I don't know. Raichu is kind of like my only one. Oh yeah, we also need Shadow Mewtwo. Ooh, we also need Rayman, Crash Bandicoot. Those are two good characters. And Sonic's Elite 5. Sonic himself is already in there, but we also need Tails, Amy, Knuckles, and Shadow. I've mentioned this in one of my other videos. But yeah, we need Sonic's other friends along for the ride. We need Sonic's other friends along for the ride. Otherwise, I just never would get over myself. I mean, it's that simple. Tails, Amy, Knuckles, and Shadow appear in just about every game and series. It's kind of annoying that you would include them in Super Smash Bros. Since Super Smash Bros. Brawl, by the way, it's a little annoying. And we also need Skull Kid from Legend of Zelda. I mean, he's like a good villain too. He's a good villain. And his final smash can be the moon crashing down. I've mentioned all of this in one of my past videos, but Super Smash Bros. Is not done with me. It may be done, but not with me. Let me try that again. Okay. Next, Super Smash Bros. May be done with me, but I'm not done with it. Let me try that again. Super Smash Bros. May be done with me and literally everyone else, but I'm not done with it. And probably some of you aren't done with it either. So so far I haven't got any shoutouts, but go to my Discord channel if you wanna get a shout out or something. But anyway, we also need. I guess we kind of also need the other two story modes in another Super Smash Brothers. I mean, we need the one from Super Smash Brothers Brawl, don't we? So why not just add Super Smash Brothers Brawl's adventure mode to the to a new Super Smash Brothers? That makes sense, right? So you know what I mean, right? And we also need so we'd also need a well, who that I've kind of gotten pitted here because I don't know who else to add or what else to add. Luckily, I've locked down a couple of fan theories in my notebook for Super Smash Brothers. Wait, did I? I probably didn't. Let me take a look. Wow, I did. I completely forgot to. Sometimes I'm a little scatterbrained. I need to blow my nose real quick. Okay, I think that should do it. Now, we also need. There's a lot of Super Smash Brothers. There's a lot that Super Smash Brothers is missing because Super Smash Brothers is popular. No one can argue with that. Super Smash Brothers is really popular, but the disappointing thing is that it's really, really hard to choose. It's really, really hard to make out what's needed, what's not needed, and how you should do. I mean, what my star player? I have 2 star players out of 3. They are Bayonetta and King DDD. Bayonetta has the technique and the speed. She's able to bust out moves quick sticks. Whereas King DDD is able to bust. King DDD can easily is the broads. He's the weights. He's the heavyweight and all that stuff. So those are my 2 star characters. But if I'm going to have a 3rd star character, I don't know what it's going to be, but I will find out and I will make it part of my squad strength team 3-on-3. Because Bandana, King D&D, and a 3rd character. Bandana is my quick sticks technique girl. King D&D is the broads, not the brains. I just is the broads, not the braids. I also need some type of. I also need someone with braids though. So someone that combines the two. Someone who has powerful moves, but they don't line up so easily. Like Kirby or Link. Those 2 are good, but they're also pretty vulnerable if you don't know what you're doing. Hero is a good one. Hero from Dragon Quest, I think it's called. That is a good one. Actually, I think that there's a Dragon Quest movie with this whole virus trying to send Hero back to his video game or something. Of course, I don't exactly know or remember, so I don't exactly remember, but I do know this. I do know that we need a special. I do know that we need something special to Super Smash Brothers. That'll be the whole centerpiece, like a new bad guy. I was thinking of this whole Super Smash Brothers game called Super Smash Brothers Eclipse. It's a whole remake of Super Smash Brothers Ultimate because you know how the bad guys are Darkon and Gleam. So I was thinking like they're traveling from world to world, destroying each other, destroying each one, and Kirby is trying to chase down Kirby and destroy any worlds on its way. So it's like one bad guy formed by the 2. It's an eclipse. And recently there was an eclipse up here in Burlington, Vermont, Plattsburgh, New York State, Saranac. I live in Saranac, not Saranac Lake, just Saranac. But there, but so yeah, we need a whole new Super Smash Brothers game with a whole new adventure mode and new characters, new adventure mode, new modes to fight. That would be pretty cool. There is a lot of Super Smash Brothers is missing, but I don't care what Nintendo has to say. I don't care what Nintendo or HAL or any other or whatever any other person from Nintendo or any other game company has to say about what's up with Super Smash Bros. Right now. What I'm focused on is what's next for Super Smash Bros. Not what's up, what's next. And that'll do it for the thing that probably has nothing to do with the subject. When I blow my nose, I'm gonna blow my nose and take a quick drink of water, and I'll mention, and I'll have a mention my channel segment in here, and when we get back, we'll do Aces and Jokers, and then we'll play Aces and Jokers, and then finally we'll jump right into the main subject, which I still don't know what it will be. I really enjoy doing this podcast, and I have a YouTube channel that got terminated, and for personal reasons, I'm not going to be able to do any gaming videos for a little while. I'm not going to be playing games for a little while, but the games that I do have on there, they'll be really useful. They'll be really useful. I mean, you've probably been playing a game you like for years and you can't get past it. Well, I'm probably the guy you're looking for to get past it. I'm not caught up. That's fine, but I not only do I have a YouTube channel, I also have a Discord channel known as Mr.L's Minecraft Mix. It features more than just Minecraft. It was a work in progress at the beginning, but I can't change the name or the picture now, so that's how it goes. My thing is, Mr.L's Minecraft Mix features more than just Minecraft. It's my gaming Discord channel. We're back, and I blew my nose. There it is. Okay, now I'm going to take out my cards and then we'll review the rules for anyone who's this is their first time listening. Okay, so segment for podcasts, Aces and Jokers. Aces and Jokers is where I take two cards and the two cards mean something. Double jokers means do something stupid. Luckily, I haven't gotten them because I don't have anything stupid to do. One joker and one ace means tell a joke or two or three or so on. And double aces means do again without jokers. Now, just aces are these rules. Take one card instead of two. Each symbol on each ace means something. Spades means shoutouts early, although I'm going to be taking out that card since I don't have any shoutouts yet. Heart means remove something from a game. What would you remove from a game and what would you add in its place? Diamond means play/watch one, change something about it, make a sequel to it, remake it entirely, or erase it from time. And club means revisit a segment from a past episode. And if a guest is with me at the time, it means to do a truth or dare. Well, no guest at this time, so I'm going to put this down, pull this out, since I need more space to do it. Now, take these 6 cards. Maybe I should dust this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And, I do this 3 times, and here's Joker and a heart. And a heart ace. Okay, so if you were to take... Okay, I think I'm gonna go with a joke segment. A joke segment is where a bunch of the jokes tie up into one. So, joke 1. There are 500 bricks on a plane. One falls off. How many are there left? 499. 1.1. How do you put an elephant in the refrigerator? You open the door, put the elephant in, and close the door. 1.3. What are the 4 steps of putting a giraffe in the refrigerator? Open the door, take the elephant out, put the giraffe in, and close the door. 1.4. The Lion King is having a birthday party, and all the animals are attending but one. Which one is it and why? The giraffe. He's stuck in the refrigerator. 1.5 for that one. Okay, 1.6. Sally wants to cross an alligator-infested river. There's no bridge, and the only way she can get across is by swimming through it. But she gets to the other side and does it safely. How? All the alligators are at the birthday party. 1.7. Sally dies anyway. Why? She was hit in the head by a flying brick. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle these in and do this again. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, where's my sixth one? Ha! One of them was hiding under them. Okay. Okay, guess I'm telling another joke. Better hope the next one is double aces. Okay, so another joke set. Okay, number 1. Why'd the monkey fall out of the tree? It was dead. Why'd the second monkey fall out of the tree for 1.1? It was stable to the first monkey. 1.2. Why'd the third monkey fall out of the tree? Monkey see, monkey do. 1.3. Why'd the fourth monkey fall out of the tree? Because the third monkey was pregnant. Sorry. Okay. Why'd the fifth monkey fall out of the tree for 1.4? I actually didn't plan this one. Okay, let me try that again. 1.4. Why'd the fifth monkey fall out of the tree? It was sleepwalking. Why'd the sixth monkey fall out of the tree? I don't know. How should I know? How should I know? Ask your lawyer. I kinda didn't plan that one out. Ooh, here's a good joke. Would the farmer say when he lost his tractor? Where's my tractor? And final one. Knock knock. Who's there? Very annoying interrupting cow. Very moo! 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 Sorry, too loud. And, okay, time for my final one. I'm gonna shuffle these back in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let me even this out. 5, 6. No! Well, I don't have anything stupid to do, so I'm gonna shuffle these back in. So, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Reshuffle. One last reshuffle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we are. Double aces, finally. Take these. Take the jokers out. Where's the other joker? Here it is. Okay, take the jokers out along with the spade. And you put them back. Now to take these 3 and shuffle them up. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Diamonds. I do this 2 times. As it says here, diamonds means... I guess okay. Diamond means play/watch, change something about it, make a sequel, remake, and erase. Well, this time we're gonna go with a movie. Since there's 5 things here, I'm gonna go with Home Alone, Home Alone 2. Those are pretty good movies. The Grinch. No, wait, no, not Home Alone and Home Alone 2. Okay. How about Illumination? Yeah, let's jump into Illumination. Now, if we have... Okay, Illumination. Illumination. Now, for Illumination, would you rather I'm gonna go with Minions, Sing, Secret Life of Pets, The Lorax, eh, and Migration. Yeah, that makes sense. So now let's get down to business. I ha so we've all watched. I'm sure a lot of people have watched Minions. And I would be happy to and I would be happy to watch it again if I could change anything about. If I could change anything about the Lorax, it would be like the main plot line, sort of maybe. I mean, I've read the book and stuff, but if the plot line had to change, I would be fine with it. A direct sequel. I mean, most of these have gotten sequels, but I think migration sequel wouldn't be bad. Wouldn't be bad. Wouldn't be good either. For remake, I would go. What were the last two? For remake, I'd go with It's down to either Secret Life of Pets or Sing. So I would go with Sing, and I would remake Sing and completely erase Secret Life of Pets. I probably wouldn't miss it. So that's kind of my results. Okay, everybody, that's it for Aces and Jokers. Now I'm going to turn off the recording and then when we get back, we're going to all talk about, I finally decided the subject, Illumination. Illumination. Now, since we're doing the Illumination, I decided for our first thing to start, we're going to be going with it's Despicable Me. I mean, we've all seen it, we all like it. I mean, depends on who we're talking about, who likes it. Anyway, we've all seen it. We all probably enjoy it. We all probably enjoyed it. There was a prequel, a second prequel, and two sequels. So, and now we're getting a third sequel. Now to anyone who's just getting introduced to Illumination, you'd probably want to watch this movie first. Despicable Me is about a guy named Gru who's trying to be a master supervillain, but and after the pyramids go missing, after the pyramids of Egypt go missing, he goes he comes up with a scheme to steal the moon, but he can't get the funding from the Bank of Evil. After he steals from so he goes up against this odd-looking nemesis called Victor Vector, uh, and he really likes coconutty cookies. We'll visit that in a minute. Anyway, Victor Vector is apparently Gru's arch nemesis because for some reason he is apparently the one with a shrink. So Gru stole a shrink ray for stealing the moon, and Gru stole a shrink ray to steal the moon. But when he did, his so-called nemesis Victor Vector stole it from him, and is and he gets beat up trying to get it back. And then he notices a couple of girls from an orphanage trying to get an adoptive home. But there's actually a few things that they do. There's actually a few things that they do at the orphanage. They take ballet classes, they sell cookies, and when Gru notices them selling cookies to Vector, he notices that he especially likes coconutty cookies. So Vector buys more than the quota that they're required to get, and then Gru gets an idea. So he adopts the girls temporarily. Well, maybe temporarily. He adopts the girls originally to get the shrink ray, and Dr. Nefario, Gru's evil scientist, makes the approach to to um to make cookie bots. Now, Despicable Me is also an introduction to the very face of Illumination, like like others. Like others, I mean, we've seen the faces of a lot of movie companies, like not just movie companies. We've seen a lot of entertainment companies. We have Disney. The face of Disney is Mickey. The face of Illumination is basically Minions. I don't know what the face of DreamWorks is, but I'm gonna assume the man in the moon is actually a little boy fishing. Ha ha! That sounded a lot better in my head. Uh, and there's Nickelodeon, which I think the face of Nickelodeon is just a big orange splotch of orange, an orange spot with white words spelling out Nickelodeon. That that is good. Hold on. Okay, yeah, Mike's definitely in there. Okay, so as I was saying, there's a lot. There's a lot of faces for companies, and Illumination's face is basically the Minions. So Despicable Me is also the introduction to the Minions. The Minions are very, very bad, or as they think, because the Minions are meant to be supervillain sidekicks, uh, so, and they've been on the Earth far longer than humans could ever imagine. Either way, the Minions try to look for the biggest, baddest boss they can find, and Gru so far is that. Anyway, Gru tries stealing the shrink ray. Vector steals it from Gru, and the Minions are basically outside the whole way through. Uh, so after Gru manages to adopt three little girls from the orphanage, he uses them in his scheme to get Vector to get the shrink ray from Vector. He manages to pull it off and show the bank man, but after so, it turns out that after so, it turns out that it turns out Victor Vector was actually the main bank manager's son. So Victor Vector is actually the banker's son, and the reason Vector stole it from Gru is because the reason Vector stole it from Gru is because the banker put him up to it, and then Vector and then Gru manages to get the shrink ray, shrink the moon, and then tries to make it back for the girls' ballet after Dr. Nefario makes Gru give them back. So after so he tries to make it to the ballet, but and he's a little too late because Victor Vector picked up the girls and the moon to get away from Gru, because Gru actually developed feelings as a father figure towards them. So I recommend watching Despicable Me the first. So then comes the prequel, Minions. The explanation of how Minions came to be, finding the biggest, baddest boss they could ever find. So far, they go from one evil boss to the next. Usually, they screw up, or something the boss did happens. They also went to Napoleon for one, and then so far, when they finally found sanctuary, they lived there for at least a century, I believe. And uh, but after that century, they were writing their wills, because without an evil big bad boss to look up to, the minions would perish. So so stood up to one brave minion stood up to find the biggest boss, and and he selected he selected two minions to go with him. That minion's name was Kevin. Yeah, all the minions have have uh, have regular like names. Anyway, Kevin selects two other minions. No, one called Bob, the other called Stuart, and they set off to the mainland to find the biggest bass boss they could ever find. And when they go to VillainCon, they manage to find they manage to become the henchmen of the biggest bass boss there is, Scarlet Overkill. After but after making a small mistake and be so Scarlet Overkill wanted to be the Queen of England. I'm and and then and then the minions screwed up. So she took it so personally after she became queen. After she got okay, let me try that again. So she took it so personally that after the minions handed it to her, she locked them in a dungeon, and they tried apologizing, but it was a huge mistake. That was an even bigger mistake than they thought, because they nearly killed her. So so Scarlet had everyone pick them off one by one as the Scarlet had them get picked off one by one. So although Stuart and Bob were captured, Kevin managed to rescue them by using a faulty machine of herbs to get locked and loaded. Luckily, they managed to. Look, it's a good thing that Kevin grew giant on accident, because he managed to rescue Bob and Stuart and defeat Scarlet Overkill by eating a bomb. Minions are basically indestructible. So Kevin ate a bomb and and blew up Scarlet. Uh, although she managed to survive, but although she managed to survive, Kevin was chasing her down the aisle until Gru used his freeze ray to capture Scarlet and get the crown. And now the minions found their new boss, Gru, from Despicable Me. We all know that. Then hold on, I need to take a look at the list. I need to take a look at a list. Illumination really releases. Yeah. Wikipedia. That should have it. Okay. Featured films. Huh. Okay. Okay, here's an entire chart. Hop? Huh. I didn't know that Hop was by Illumination. So Hop is about, it's a little Easter movie. After Hop and Despicable Me came The Lorax in March 2012. The Lorax is a Dr. Seuss book where the little orange monster known as the Lorax, who speaks to the trees, gets a tries after some humans come and wreck the place. He needs to protect it somehow, although without the area 2. Then came Despicable Me 2, the sequel to so Lorax. So just like the book, Okay. Then came Despicable Me 2. The that that was good. Despicable Me 2 is the sequel to Despicable Me, where after Gru gets where this is kind of like an aftermath to what happened. Gru starts his own line of jam, but Dr. Nefario leaves him to keep pursuing evil. And so since Gru has an expertise on since Gru has an expertise of being a villain, the AVL Anti-Villain League recruits him to stop a nefarious baddie who stole a that stole a supplement. I forget what it's called. That that makes that makes living organisms go crazy. Or in a minion's case, eat everything and eat anything and everything. So after that, nefarious guy captured the lab and captured nearly all, at least 97% of Gru's minions. Eh, he he injected the serum into one of his minions to show Gru, and Gru wasn't happy about it. But he did end up defeating that baddie by working with a new partner known as Lucy. Of course, the girls were trying to find him a wife. And as it turns out, in the end, Gru and Lucy get married. And and then and and then so on. And then so forward. Yeah. Uh, eh, and after those is finally my personal favorite, The Secret Life of Pets. It's about a dog called Max. Apparently Max is a dog Max is a dog. He is known to be he had a bit of a he has had a life with his human, Katie, and he has a bit of hard time facing the world. So after Katie comes home from work one day, she adopts a brand new dog whose human died. So they go on a big adventure around New York City, from Brooklyn to Queens, and from Brooklyn to Queens, I think. Uh, and they go through a huge sausage factory. It looks really fun. I would love to be in that stitch up. So that and in the end, a bunch of sewer animals corner Max, and Duke and Max end up getting home. No thanks to a bunch of uh rescue animal guys from who are trying to take the dogs to the pound. Uh, yeah. I, so after Duke nearly So Max and Duke made it home, and so did all the animals, and so forth. Another one of my personal favorites. Sing is about a koala called Buster Moon. Apparently his dad used a car washing service to rack up every little penny / half penny he could to buy a huge theater for Moon. Of course, none of Moon's shows actually worked. But but after he but when but finally when Moon comes up with the brilliant idea for a singing competition for $1,000, he he figures this could help pay off the bank. Although sadly, okay, let me try again. Although sadly, it turns out that he hasn't been able to pay for any electrics and stuff. And finally, when he got, and finally, and one of his, and once setting up the reward post, and once setting up the posters, while he was setting up the posters, apparently after after his assistant, Miss Crawley, loses her glass eye. Hold on. So after Miss Crawley loses her glass eye, it presses the 0 button 2 more times, so there's a mistake on the poster saying 100,000, not 1,000. But Buster didn't even have the money. He just had the stuff to sell to get the money. So he just had the stuff to sell to get money, not the actual money itself. So that's the kind of the disappointing part. Sometimes I go onto Pandora and Kids Bop Shuffle Radio, and I noticed the Sing 2 auditions medley. It's pretty good, but not as good as the original Sing auditions. Anyway, so after Mike gets into a little, hold on. Mike makes a little mistake by cheating in a game of cards, or by cheating in a game of gambling, and so he owes the bear money in the end. So the bear crashes into the theater, and the truth is revealed. And so Buster's big plans goes all down the drain, quite literally, cause he got a bunch of water to supply him and the squids. So everything goes quite literally down the drain, and then Buster needs to and then later Buster's feeling depressed. After Buster's feeling depressed, so he starts a moon car wash. So he restarts his moon car wash business to rack up those pennies to get back at the theater again. And then and after he and once he was done his last car for the day, he goes up to see Mina at the ruins of the theater. He goes up to see Mina, the elephant, at the ruins of the theater, singing "Lone," not alone, just "Lone." And then after he does, I'm hearing a knocking on my door. After he does, So after he goes up to see Mina, they decide to turn the ruins of the theater into a little mini structure for them to put on the show. So once they've put on the show, it all ends up being okay. And then Nana Noodleman invests in the theater for Buster to be able to use it whenever he please. And his shows become a success once more. And that, my friends, is how the story of Sing goes. Despicable Me 3 is the movie where Gru learns that he has a brother who's trying to do villainy himself. Gru was a supposed master thief. I mean, he wasn't bad at it, but he wasn't entirely good at it either. Whereas Gru's secret brother Drew, he was terrible at it. He was terrible at it. And Gru's new arch nemesis steals a jewel that is he steals a jewel that's super powerful. His name is Brat Blathsphere. Apparently, he had his own hit TV show from when he and Gru were kids. But after a growth spurt going through puberty, the show ends up getting canceled, and Gru has to fight Brat Blathsphere as an actual villain. So that's that, yeah. And then so Gru and Drew steal the diamond back. Gru sees it as an opportunity to get his job at the AVL back after the new CEO takes over the business and takes her anger out on Gru. So, for just letting Brat get away again. I mean, at least Gru thwarted his plan even though he didn't get away. Even though Brat got away. But hey, it's no biggie. There's always next time, except there isn't a next time because now Gru needs to work with Drew to get the jewel back. But after they do, Brat steals it back again, and then Gru steals it back, gets his job at the AVL back, and Drew tries to keep the family tradition. It's more like family legacy alive, whereas the family legacy is basically supervillaining, being a supervillain. That's Despicable Me 3, being Drew trying to keep the family legacy alive, taking the minions because the minions got thrown in jail for trying to be minion villains, trying to be their own villains, or by stealing pizza. So the minions steal pizza, and then they get arrested, or at least they try to steal pizza. They get locked in an amphitheater, and then the police arrest them, and they make their grand escape from prison. And after they do, Gru and Drew manage to. So after they do, they start following Drew because Drew is trying to keep the family legacy alive. Although the minions eventually go back to Gru because I mean it's pretty obvious if we're going to have a Despicable Me 4, am I right? After Despicable Me 3 came The Grinch, November 9th, 2018. The Grinch is about the Dr. Seuss story, is a classic Dr. Seuss story of how the Grinch stole Christmas. Where he has a secret cavern on top of a mountain. Apparently he hates Christmas because he had no mom, no dad, and no one to celebrate with, like the Who's. So the Grinch realizes what he must do in a different way from the book and the live action movie. So he ends up stealing Christmas, but then he learns, and instead of having super duper strength, apparently his reindeer comes back to help him. It's one of my personal favorite Christmas movies, besides Home Alone 1 and 2 and Home Sweet Home Alone. Those are amazing. Okay. And finally, no, not finally actually, The Secret Life of Pets came out in June 7th, 2019. The Secret Life of Pets 2. The Secret Life of Pets 2 is starring the same characters. Max the tiny dog, Snowball the bunny, Daisy, what was that white pooch's name? I can't remember. We're with everyone. Okay, so everyone is having their own personal adventures. Max is going to stay on a farm with his family. Gidget, I believe. Gidget is babysitting Max's little bumblebee toy. And Snowball is acting as a superhero to protect to save a big tiger. And eventually they all meet ways and gang up on that bad guy who ended up capturing the tiger. And then that's pretty much how The Secret Life of Pets 2 goes. I haven't watched it in a while, so next after Sing 2 comes the second prequel, Minions of Despicable Me, Minions: The Rise of Gru. Now, Scarlet Overkill is the greatest supervillain. Single supervillain. Well, the greatest supervillain team is known as the Vicious Six, which is another few that Gru looked up to when he was a child to become a supervillain. So his personal favorite was Wild Knuckles, the leader, or at least he was till he got cut from the team. And luckily, although it was pretty lucky that okay, let me try that again. It was pretty lucky that Gru stole the stone from the Vicious Six. Gru stole the stone, the Zodiac Stone from the Vicious Six, and fun fact about the Chinese New Year and the Zodiac, the mouse is actually the top ranking. At first I thought it was the dragon, but it's actually the mouse. The mouse features a bunch of lessons featuring symbols of good luck, wealth, intelligence, charm, charisma, ambition, adaptability, versatility, and I don't know what others. So the Vicious Six steals the Zodiac Stone, but Gru steals it from them after Vicious Six rejects him. I mean, he imagined the original Vicious Six plus him. Wouldn't that make it the Vicious Seven? So after they cut Wild Knuckles, that's how there was an opening spot. And finally, actually not finally just yet. So Minions: Rise of Gru. So the Minions and Gru manage to defeat the Vicious Six by turning them into rats. He makes a big speech on becoming a villain, which he does become a villain temporarily. And then everyone's personal favorite Illumination movie, the Super Mario Brothers movie. Now, we know of the Sonic the Hedgehog trilogy, featured by Paramount Plus. Nickelodeon is the Loud House's streaming home is known as Paramount Plus. But this isn't Paramount Plus. This is Illumination. The Super Mario Brothers movie. I mean, we've seen that several times, so I'm sure everyone knows, but I'm just going to explain it because I like doing that. Anyway, this is a Nerds Franchise review podcast, after all, where we review stuff. And the Super Mario Brothers movie. So it's kind of the origin story. It's kind of like the Mario's prequel before Super Mario Bros. Wonder. So the Super Mario Bros. Movie features Mario and Luigi going there as plumbers in their early days, starting their own company. But after getting transported to the Mushroom Kingdom from an old pipeline system that hasn't been touched in probably decades at the least, and so after ending up in a pipe that goes to the Mushroom Kingdom, they end up separating into two different parts. Luigi ends up in the Dark Lands, where Bowser captures him. Mario ends up in the Mushroom Kingdom. And in this version, he apparently hates mushrooms. How about that? So I can't imagine what it's like for Luigi. And we also have... So Mario goes on a training quest to recruit the Kong army. Luigi is caught in jail, and Bowser's practicing his proposal for Peach. And finally, and when the big time comes, Bowser threatens Peach that if she doesn't say yes to his proposal, the Mushroom Kingdom will go in ruin. If it wasn't for Toad being at Peach's side, she could have said no easily. It was, I've got to admit that is a little stupid, but I cannot wait for the 25th anniversary, which just so happens to be in the 25th anniversary just so happens to be in 2025. Anyway, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, Mario faces off against Bowser in the final fight in Brooklyn. Luigi's at his side. They use the Superstar and win the fight. And the final movie in Illumination so far, Migration, featuring a family of ducks always living at a pond. It starts off with a story that the dad tells to keep them from going outside of the pond. So, where in the end they died. uh, so they go on this big migration journey. Now, I've seen movies where you encounter the antagonist more than once. You think you've dealt with the main antagonist enough times. I can't exactly recall one, but I've seen a movie where the same scenario happens, where you go on a big journey and then there's a danger ahead and you need to handle it. And then just when you think you've gotten rid of the danger, turns out to be the main antagonist all along. So that's kind of the scenario that Migration is in. The main antagonist is a chef trying to cook ducks and birds, no matter what. So the ducks learn how to handle with this chef, and just so you know, I didn't use quote fingers. They learn how to deal with this chef, and they end up making it to Jamaica. Although in the end, they end up going to the South Pole with a bunch of penguins. Yeah. And that's basically all the movies. Now, I'm going to be looking back at a few of these. Now, I've seen a couple of movies where they just... I've seen like one or two franchises that just end with the second movie. There's the Lego Movie from Warner Brothers. That was amazing. It was amazing. I loved it. They left us off on a cliffhanger in the first one, and we ended the second, and the second one was amazing as well. And if there was a 24-hour, and if it was on 24 hours on a DirecTV channel, I would gladly watch it. Either one. So that would probably make me happy. So so it's kind of like a franchise with only 2 movies. Well, I'm not exactly comfortable with that. We have Sing and Sing 2, and Secret Life of Pets, and Secret Life of Pets 2. Want to know something? Secret Life of Pets and Sing came out in about July, August, September, October, November, December. They came out 6 months apart. And in Secret Life of Pets, there was an ad on the back of the truck for Sing. How about that? Anyway, Sing 2, Secret Life of Pets 2. Those are... they're both good movies, but they only have 2 movies. I understand if they don't make a third, but I'm thinking for Sing, it's pretty obvious. Sing 3, World Tour. Like an extended title. Like an extended title. Like in Descendants. Like in Disney's Descendants. There's Descendants 1, 2, and 3. Well, there's actually a 4th coming out called Ruby Rose something, I believe. So, Secret Life of Pets 3, Sing 3, World Tour. That makes sense, right? And everyone's personal favorite, the Super Mario Brothers movie. I may entirely just do I think I may just do a Super Mario Brothers movie review episode because a lot of people have been reminiscing about what could be next for it. And I've done a few pie charts for it. It's really good. I've done a few pie charts for it. It's gonna be good. So if I'm going to do a full scale episode of the Super Mario Brothers movie 2, it will be something, alright? And look, here's one here. Despicable Me 4, July 3rd, 2024. July 3rd is the day before I'm actually going to visit my grandparents in Long Island. And the untitled Super Mario Bros. Movie sequel, April 3rd, 2026. In development, Big Tree. Ooh, Secret Life of Pets. Ooh, Sing 3. And a new Illumination movie. Cool. These would probably be fun to watch. I mean, see, I said it. Secret Life of Pets 3, and I honestly did not look at this chart before. So if we're going to get some sequel movies, I'm just looking at this chart now, and it's going to some more movies that are in development. Besides a sequel to the Super Mario Bros. Movie and Despicable Me 4, we could have Big Tree, Secret Life of Pets 3, Sing 3, possibly World Tour at the end of the title, and a new Illumination movie. Those will be quite a blast for a lot of people, and I'm sure a couple of you would agree with me. It's good to get that all out. It's good to get all that out. I can't wait for it all, but I've got to wrap up here. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. This was the Illumination movie. This is the Illumination franchise review episode. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Mr.L, aka Ludwig Minecraft. Thanks for listening to this episode. Goodbye. I'll probably find, but before I wrap up, just before I stop the recording, make sure to go onto my Discord channel if you want to get any shout outs here, because I don't have anyone to shout out just yet, or at least I don't think so. I haven't checked my Discord channel in a little while. So I haven't had anyone to shout out just yet, but go on my Discord channel if you want to be shout out. If you want me to shout out your name or whatever name you have in mind. If I'm gonna get a shout out on Remember the Game, here's what I want it to be: Mr.L Ludwig. My real name isn't Luigi. That'd be funny to listen to, right? Anyway, thank you so much for listening to this podcast episode. I'm Mr.L Ludwig Minecraft. My real name is definitely not Luigi. Thanks for listening. Cheers.